Hello, this will be a brief overview / review of a game I picked up centuries ago called Wiraqocha. I purchased it at a sale my local game store was having. Saw it on the shelf for centuries, always been looking at it. I adore the steampunk aesthetic. But I've purchased it and I've never ever seen it again on store shelves or at conventions or anything like that. It's quite a brilliant game, has resource control and uses dice. So let's take a look at it. And this is by Sit Down Games, the game Wiraqocha. Also, this will give me the chance to show off some of the improvements, I guess you call it, or customization, is a better word, that I've done with this game. So the game came with these pretty little chits, and what I ended up doing with them was I set them in these bottle cap like things. These you can pick up at crafting stores like Michael's or Joann's, and I used a simple tacky glue to set those in there. They are double-sided, but I think these look quite neat. Now, one of my biggest major pet peeves, especially with games, is putting stickers on game pieces. They, because you've got grease on your fingers, you pick them up, you handle them all the time. The stickers end up getting dirty, folding, or just peeling up. So the game comes with these really nice wooden pieces, but it also came with a sheet of stickers that you had to put on these pieces. That annoyed me greatly. So what I did was, after putting on the stickers, I went down to my hardware store and bought some of that wood sealer, clear wood sealer, and sealed up these pieces. So there is no chance of these stickers getting corroded or coming off. It's a bit of a long process because you have to do one side at a time. Paint it, let one side dry, do the other side. And I'm quite solid now. Don't have to worry about these stickers peeling up or getting ruined. So that's the way I customize this game, I guess. Now, how this game works is you are given a set of tokens to control lands, or to mark them as your territory. And how you control the territory is you roll dice. Each player is given 3 dice. And when you roll the dice, you compare them to the territories that you may be able to control. So as you can see, some of them have dice faces on them, while others have numbers. So the ones with numbers can technically be taken over with 1 die. Depending on what you've rolled. So if you look here, I've got a 1 and 2 2s. So what do we have here? We've got 2 1s. Oh, there we go, 2 2s. And that's actually a relic area. So I could put those there. And then what I would do is I would use a dirigible, Zeppelin as they call them, alright. So with these pieces, these are primarily like transport. So you use these pieces in the mountainous regions, because only Zeppelin could go in the mountainous region. You use those first, and then on your following turn, you switch it out with either an extraction token or an explorer. In this case, the explorer is the only person that's going to be able to grab the relic. So on my next turn, the Zeppelin would, let's say, drop off the explorer, and the explorer would be able to claim the relic. First person to claim all 4 relics is the winner. That's only one of the winning conditions, but I'm giving it to you as an example. Now, additionally, you have areas with the somnium symbol on it. Those are these little things here. So if we could find a somnium vein, there we go, right there. So again, if you conquer this territory, first use a dirigible, Then on your following turn, you drop off your extractor. So now, every turn you're going to be able to extract a Somnium Cube. Each territory in general, regardless of which one you occupy, will give you a resource cube. Resource cubes you acquire at the beginning of your turn. Somnium you acquire at the end of your turn. So no matter how many territories you occupy, and no matter what territory it is, each territory is going to supply one resource cube. The resource cubes are used to enhance or devalue a die roll. So, roll it. Now, here we got an area that says 2 5s. I've got 1 5, 1 4, 1 1. So what I can do is, if I have them available, I can spend 2 resource cubes to roll this up 1. Then I conquer that territory. Village tiles, as you can see with the buildings on them, this plus symbol means you get to roll 1 extra die on your turn. So instead of 3, you could roll 4. Other tiles will supply a reroll, like that area there. Some tiles will allow you an additional resource cube or an additional Somnium. Somnium and resources are used to purchase technology. So when you have enough, for instance, this right here would take 3 resource cubes to buy. On your turn, turn in your 3 resource, buy this, turn the next card over. Some will also supply you, some technology cards will also supply you with an additional token. And power. For instance, this right here, this gives me an additional extraction token. So I would get this right here, and that acts as an additional extraction. Now I should have mentioned this right away, but your top priority is you want to place your base camp. So the first territory you conquer will be where you put your base camp. That's going to be your first turn. So you roll. I've got 2 3s and a 5. Now, do we have 2 3s anywhere on the board? Yes, we do, right there. So my base camp would actually be on a relic area. Base camps and conquered territories can be attacked additionally by another player. If a player were to attack my base camp, they have the choice of either destroying my base camp, which would go into the technology graveyard, or they could steal from me. They could steal either a resource cube, Somnium, or technology. Now, if they destroy my base and it goes into the graveyard, I have to pay 3 resource cubes to remove it, then roll, then try to conquer a territory to place my base camp again. If I don't have a base camp, I don't have anything to do until I can place that base camp. Also, another player could try to conquer a territory that I'm already occupying. In which case, if I decide to, let's say I've got an area on the board that I'm really liking what it gives me. Let's say a village allows me an extra die to roll. So if I've got someone there and somebody else wants to conquer that territory, or I see that they're encroaching on my space, I can place a protective die on top of it. That means I have to roll an additional 5 or higher to beat it. It could be any number. Obviously you probably want 6. But that's how another player would be able to conquer that territory, is if they roll. Alright. Now I also believe there is a specific rule for movement. Now we've already covered how the Zeppelin, primarily in the mountainous areas, is used to drop off people. So, for instance, I switch that out. Zeppelin goes there. 2 Zeppelins, only a Zeppelin can attack another Zeppelin. because Zeppelins are always in the sky. So if somebody wanted to conquer this territory, they'd have to use another Zeppelin. They wouldn't be able to do it with an extractor or an explorer. Now, if there's an area where, let's say, I'm right here, and it's my turn and I roll, and for some reason or another it's a territory. Let's see here. Is there a 4 anywhere? Yeah, there we go. There's a 4 right there. Alright. So in order to move my guy from here to here, I have to physically move him. I'm not able to go into my area, pick up a token, and just move it. Now, if I was going to conquer this territory, any territory adjacent to me, I can pick something up that isn't already being used and place it in that area. It's only when it's really far away that I have to move somebody that's already on the board to that area, thereby abandoning this area. So the first person to gather all 4 relics, deliver a cache of somnium to the queen, or build the Leviathan. That's not particularly this card. Oh, yes, it is. No, it's not. This is the Flying Fortress. Or build the Leviathan. First person to do any one of those things would be the winner. This board, now, the graveyard, technology graveyard, always stays at the top here. Otherwise, all these right here are pretty random. They do have a suggested starting map of how to place all these tiles. I've only played this with 2 players, and I liked it quite a lot. It was only once, but it was pretty fun, and it wrapped up pretty quickly. Now I imagine with 4 players, that's going to kind of be like a gunfight in a closet. But it actually might wrap up pretty quickly. Again, this is a game that I have not seen in retail stores or conventions ever since my purchase. This is how the whole board looks. Again, I've only played this game once, so it's quite possible that there's some rules that I skipped over. The game also does come with cards to remind you of your turn sequence and whatnot, but these are all in a different language, German and French, I believe. So this is really a great game. I like it a lot. Simple dice mechanics and territory control. Got a bit confused with the whole dirigible thing. I could be wrong about it. That's how I interpreted it, though. Is any mountainous territories, usually these tiles with the brown on it, can only be conquered by a dirigible. Villages usually give you 1 dice roll. The relic areas will allow you a reroll on the die. These are the areas where you get somnium. Somnium is what you use to buy technology on your turn. Villages also give you 1 extra die to roll, so instead of 3, you'll be rolling 4 on your turn. So, brilliant game. I look forward to playing it again someday. I guess while I have it out, I'm going to try to work out a solo variant somehow. This is Wiraqocha while I sit down games. Thank you.